I'm not someone you would expect to have been repeatedly threatened with eviction. I've worked in software since I graduated college. But about a year after college, the landlord in my first ever apartment started a series of unreasonable threats. We were easy tenants who were paying the sky-high market rate, but he was trying to sell the building, and so anytime he had an opportunity to be difficult, he took it. There were 2 separate times when he seemed serious about trying to evict us on nonsense grounds. We had the resources to fight him, but it would have been slow, expensive, extremely stressful, and there always was the risk that his lawyer would find some way to prove that he was technically in the right. These moments of uncertainty, when all we could do was wait and see if he would actually go forth with an eviction or back down, were the absolute most stressful days of my life. And while I've had a pretty easy life, I have counseled multiple people who were actively considering suicide, among other stressful moments. There's something about having your home taken from you, or even the threat, that is deeply destabilizing and distressing. And yet, I know that displacement has always happened. Europeans did it when they settled here. Urban planners did it when they built the interstate highway system through neighborhoods of color. And the invisible hand of the market does it in San Francisco today. When I interrogate the anxiety that I felt sitting on my couch in that charming Victorian apartment in the Mission after work, feeling stressed and helpless and stuck, I can now see that I feared falling into a predicament that many experience in this city. What if I have to leave my apartment with no notice? Where will I go? Where will I put my stuff? Will I be able to find another place? How could I find anywhere decent if I had to disclose an eviction on my rental application? What kind of landlord would take me? Would my next apartment be habitable? And I was lucky. I knew I wouldn't end up on the streets. I could get a hotel if I needed, or stay on a friend's couch. Eventually, I would figure something out. But we need not walk far in this city to see those who were not so lucky. Most people living on the streets in San Francisco had a home in the city until they didn't. They live on San Francisco streets because San Francisco is their home, even though they can no longer afford an apartment here. And fundamentally, this is because there aren't enough homes in San Francisco. People want to live here, and without more homes being built, that means that prices go up and those with the least resources get pushed out. There are layers of red tape and appeals and height restrictions that have left us building far less even than smaller cities like Seattle. Instead, too much of California's new housing is being built inland, where people drive hours to work here, where people need air conditioning, and increasingly, where people are at risk of wildfires. That's not green, and we can do better. Let's build now throughout the Bay, in every city and every neighborhood. And some of that is going to have to be built by for-profit developers and rented or sold on the open market, just like my home was built, and probably most of yours as well. Let's make room for all kinds of people to live a good life in this fine city.